Alright, so this is officially module 5. Not a lot to do as far as, the assignments and things. So I figured I'd take, well, let me step back. I know there's a lot of UMG stuff we're supposed to be doing and so on and so forth. But I feel confident enough I'll be able to manage that within 2 weeks. So I figured I'd take a little bit of time to share a couple of things I've discovered so far along the way, just to kind of add some additional elements. To start off with, in this video, we're going to take care of this ball. A couple of things I don't like about it, I never have. One, I only have this view, where, yay, it's first person. I kind of like the tutorial that we're following in regards to the Unreal Engine and the Unreal Epic tutorial with the particle ball. So we're going to go ahead and finish this off. To get started, we're going to immediately go right into coding. And it shouldn't take us too much. We have most of the framework. So we're going to mess with the pond collision. We're just going to come right into the H file here. And I don't know, call me silly. I like to grab all these. And I have a new love of keeping them over here. Because of course you have this and you really don't need to have them over here. Now I'm just going to go through, make sure I have them all. Yep. So that should be good. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to officially add the particle function. And we're going to actually change some things with some properties. We are going to take a lot of these properties and put them as U properties. And we're gonna do that. Where's a good spot? Well, I guess there is really no good spot, so we'll put them right at the bottom. Like I said, we're gonna do 3 of these. And to show you, I mean, literally we're gonna take these. And the reason why I'm doing this is I want them to be editable everywhere. So I want to be able to access these components from the editor. And of course, the last one is the one we're going to create. All right, so now we're going to come back up here to where we put that function. I'm going to go ahead and get that predefined for us. All right, so now let's go ahead and make some changes. From top to bottom, what we're going to do is we're going to first create the spring arm and camera. We're just going to go ahead and start putting them right at the bottom. Why not? Yeah, right here. Our good old trusty create default sub-object. All right, so we have our spring arm and camera components created as far as setting the variables. Now let's give them some settings. We're going to set this to attach to the root component. And then we're going to do a relative location. And this is going to be an F rotator. And we're going to set the target length to actually 400 on this one. And then we're going to enable the camera lag to true. And we're going to set the, without going crazy here, we're going to set the camera lag speed equal to 3. Alright, I just forgot some punctuation here or there. No big. While we're waiting for that, I'm going to continue on. Set up our camera. Still doesn't like this for some reason. That relative. Maybe that was why. It's actually set relative rotation. And there we go. I got rid of that. Now we can continue on. So we're going to give this the camera, and we're going to set this to set up attachment. And we're going to set it up to the spring arm. Spring arm component, and we're going to set it up to the socket name. All right. Let's go ahead and try to compile that now. It's not actually set, it's just relative rotation. Perfect. Now we can go ahead and start on the particle system. And we called this our particle system. We're going to equal this to create our wonderful default sub-object, and it's going to be a uParticle system component. Or right there. Okay, and now first we got to set up our properties for this. Starting with the attachment. And we are going to attach this to the spear component. The next one we're going to do is the auto activate. It's one of the Boolean variables we inherited from the particle system. You can see it right there. We're just going to set this to false by default. And now we're going to set the relative location of this. And we're going to do this by using an F vector. All right. Now, one more crazy thing we have to do here, and that is to get the path of our asset that we're going to use from the starter content. This is the same, actually I think we used it up here. Yeah, we're using the same concept right here. And that being said, we'll go ahead and borrow some of this. because the path is relatively the same till here. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll just show you how you would do it otherwise. What we're going to get is in the starter pack, we'll find it the same way we found the other one. So in the starter pack, we're going to come to, where is it? Particles. And we're going to be using this one. We're going to right click and we're going to copy the reference. We're going to come back into here. Where is it? And just paste that right in. And again, remember we have to get rid of everything in front here up until that single quote. And we have to get rid of this single quote. And that's our path that we need. All right, so now we are going to do another if statement to see if we've actually received this. All right, so if it does find that asset, then we're going to set it to our object. Next thing we're going to do is come down here to our actions. And we got to set up a new action. So this is going to be, well, we can just kind of cheat, use this one. We'll call this particle toggle. They're going to be pressed, and our function is particle toggle. That being said, let's go ahead and find that function. Yeah, it always likes to put it in random spots. Down at the bottom. So in our particle toggle, what we're going to do is start by using an if statement. Checking our particle system here. Seeing if that's true and if the template we just searched for was assigned. So if we have a particle system and if it has a template assigned to it, then do something. That something is set a particle toggle. And we can do some form of a debug here if we need to, but as of right now, let's just try to build this. If this builds correctly, we got to keep in mind we still got to set up our action binding here. That built, so let's go here. Again, edit, project settings, inputs, and then action bindings. So we'll come here and add one right in. And the only thing you want to do with this is make sure you got your spelling correct. And I don't. I reversed it. Go ahead and just copy it right in. This, we're just going to use the F key. Come down here, find F. Close that now. And the next thing we're going to do, in order for this to work, we actually have to take this out. Oh, hey, how you doing? And then put it back into the world. We're going to do one other thing just because I'm tired of looking at a white ball as well. If you notice here, there's an override material. We're going to go ahead and do that. And I kind of decided if it's going to be fire, actually, I like metal, like silver. There we go. Let's just compile. Save for good measure. Why not? Push play and fatal crash. All right, so let's just take a minute and look at our code here. Let's take that out of the game world first. And everything seems fine. Put it back in. Push play. Everything seems fine. Let's add our material again. And everything seems fine. Alright, so let's come over to the ball. So now I can see the ball. Can't really see anything else, and we don't have control of the camera other than left, right. However, if I toggle, there we go. Alright, step 1 done. We now have a flaming marble. Alright, so in the next video, I figured out a handy way without using UMG to do some in-game text, kind of like for pickups and such. Not quite sure why this is not blue anymore, but I will fix that in the next video. Alright, see you then.